Hey, I'm Pat McGrew, the Inkjet High-Speed Production Mail Evangelist, and I'm here once again to talk to you about direct mail. So this time we want to talk about what are the elements of direct mail, and the thing to remember, as we said before, is that there's only one goal for direct mail, and that is to get someone to buy something, to get the target recipient to buy something. So a direct mail piece can have a lot of different kinds of elements, and in many cases it's a menu of items that a designer will select from based on what the purpose of the campaign is, whether it's a solicitation campaign designed to get a brand new customer, a customer care campaign designed to talk to an existing customer, so the assumption is we know a little bit about them. It may be a loyalty campaign that's designed to interact with a loyalty scheme, or it may be a customer reacquisition program, in which case we've had a customer and for whatever reason we've lost them and now we're trying to get them back. Across those four different types of campaigns, we also have different styles of going after those customers. So we've mentioned before that you may do a letter style campaign, or you may use postcards, or you may try and really put your creativity hat and do some other kind of campaign. The thing is that every direct mail campaign has certain levels of commonality, and the first thing is we have to know who we're sending it to. So at some point in the process we're going to have to get an address attached to this direct mail piece. Now it may be that the address is actually on the direct mail piece, as it is on this one, which was designed by our friends at One Digital Solutions in Dallas, and was an award-winning campaign. It was a Print Excellence Award winner for New Era wall coverings. Now in this case they've actually put the address right on there, and this is a postcard. You put a stamp on it, you get it into the mail stream. But in some cases you may not, and our customer Sameta executed this direct mail piece for their customer Zeb Jeans, and in this case it was done in the style of a newspaper. So it's still highly personalized. Every page has elements on it that are specifically directed to, in this case, this would be to Kelly, and in this case it's to Heidi, as you can see, Heidi. But the thing is that there's no address on here because these were actually put in envelopes and sent into the mail stream in an envelope. In other cases, it may be integrated into the piece as it is on this one, but this would then have been folded and either put into a window envelope or into an envelope that also had the information imprinted on the outside. So every direct mail piece has an address associated with it. So that tells us who it's going to. Now, it can be part of the USPS Every Door Direct Mail campaign, in which case it may not have a name on it. There may only be a zip code on it because the USPS is making it possible to do some neighborhood-based campaigns. In some cases, in some solicitation cases, you may get the quite valuable occupant or resident, current addressee, and honestly in the direct mail space, those are not highly successful ways to go after people. Typically your best solution is to go after a customer with their proper address on there so it actually gets to the person you're trying to target, and then one step more than that, if it's a solicitation campaign, perhaps you're buying a list, and if you're buying a list and it can, are able to buy additional lifestyle trigger information, that can help inform the campaign that you build. So address, key part of getting something into the direct mail space. So the next thing is the message. In all cases, direct mail is intended to get someone to buy something. So what's the message? What is it that we're trying to sell? And you know, sadly, as we look across a lot of the direct mail that comes through the mail stream, certainly at my address, it's not very clear what the direct mail message is. So in our storyline, if you will, is that your direct mail piece, to be successful, to be helping you get the best return on your marketing investment, should always have a message associated with it. And that message should be quite easy to understand. It should have a clear call to action. Now, if you're doing a campaign just to keep your name visible, and some organizations do that, then you might say, well, what's my call to action? And you would be right, because in those cases, it might be harder to identify what you want the customer to do other than remember you. However, our suggestion is that in today's economy, every piece that would go into the mail stream should have a call to action of some variety, even if it's to go to a web page and register, update information, or in some other way engage with the brand. So the address, message, what's the offer, and a call to action are absolutely critical. And the call to action has got to be clear. It's got to be easy for a customer to execute on. What is it that we want them to do? How is it that we want them to do it? Do we want them to go to a web page? Do we want them to tear off this little slip on the bottom and put it into an envelope and send it back to us? What is it that we want them to do? So as you look across direct mail pieces, address, message, call to action are sort of key criteria. So then how you execute on that message piece becomes a big part of the process of planning the execution of the piece. It drives what the design will be, it drives what the costs associated with, what paper are we going to select, what method of delivery are we going to look at. Is it going to be a newspaper into an envelope? Is it going to be a mailer that's put into the mail stream, delivered to every single address without regard to whether those people will be interested or not? Will it be something that is folded and put into an envelope, or will it be more of a postcard style? And those become design choices that are made. And once those design choices are made, what the delivery methodology will be, then we start looking at what can the design be, what's legal for direct mail in the given environment that you're working in. So here in the U.S., we don't have a lot of rules about direct mail, but most of the rules that we do have sort of revolve around how big is it, and how will that drive the postage cost, and where will the address be, and will it have one of the IMB barcode pieces on it, because that all involves the costing out of the postage for the customer. So those are the basic elements of direct mail. The biggest driver for direct mail, the thing that sits behind all of this, is the data that informs the addressing and informs the message development. So as you start to think about direct mail, and start looking at your own direct mail, start thinking about what the brand owner and what the designer was thinking when they created that piece that landed in your mail stream. It'll help you as you're having conversations with the customers that you're talking to. Thanks for listening. That's been the Elements of Direct Mail. I'm Pat McGrew. Have a great day.